In today's project, we built this portable battery box. We're going to use this little case from Harbor Freight. So this thing is quite small. You can see I 3D printed out this front panel. I have two XT60s, push button switch to turn on and off the USB 3.0 quick charge ports, and then we just have a regular cigarette lighter socket. And at the very top I have a balance port. Do I have a cable around here? Yeah, so one of these guys. So when I get my other leads in, essentially that goes through the top and pulls down and then goes into the battery. So you don't have to open the pack up every time you want to check the cell balance. You can just plug it right in on the top. I'm not crazy about this 3.0 quick charger seal. It goes in there kind of hard, and it's unfortunate I didn't have any black ones in stock, but that's okay, that'll do. So this pack's mainly going to be for charging phones, laptops. You could plug a PD charger in here. You could easily do a 100-watt PD charger off of this pack, no problem. And like maybe if I wanted to charge some of my RCs out in the field, or plug in a solar panel. So I do have a little 50-watt, or I have up a 200-watt solar panel I can plug in this with a charge controller. That'll just be external to the box. So you can charge with a solar, you could charge it with an RC charger. You could do a DC to DC converter if you wanted a constant current, constant voltage to charge this. So there's multiple ways, but these ports will just make it easy. You plug it right in, plug your balance lead in, there you go. Or your solar, or whatever you're using to charge it. So what we need to do, I guess I could wire this up real quick. Well, some of it. And then we need to cut a hole in the top of the box for that to go right there. If you guys are interested in this front panel, let me know. I can post the STL files or post it on Thingiverse, and you can print it off. So yeah, let's do that. I gotta think of what I need. So positive, negative. Okay, so that's for the LED. Just gonna clip on there like that. What I'll probably do, some kind of bus bar off of this. These two are definitely gonna get a bus bar. Use a piece of thick copper for that, some 6-gauge copper, solid, just grounding wire. Pull this off here so you guys can see a little better what I'm doing here. Just tin in the back of the XT60s. I would normally be using my fume extractor, but it's so loud you guys wouldn't be able to hear me over it. Alright, so let's show you what I'm going to do for this. So I got some of this just solid copper. You can get that at Home Depot or hardware stores or whatever. And then that has a coating on the outside. Keep it from corroding. So we need to get that off of there. So what I like to do is just try to straighten it out first. Measure my piece out. Pair of side cutters and just cut a little extra so you can solder your main leads onto it. Oh, my big hand's in the way, you can't see. There we go. Now I just have this little 12-volt drill that I keep on my electronics bench. Another piece of sandpaper. You can see how much shinier that is now. So, see the bottom half, not shiny. If you try to solder that with that on there, you'll have a miserable time. So, just takes a second. It is a smaller project, so I really would like to just get it all done quick in one video, guys, so you don't have to wait for a part 2 of this thing. Let me know if you guys mind the longer videos or not. Alright, so once I get it kind of stuck on one side, I'll then heat up the other side, and these twist in here, so it's pretty easy just to pull them in like that, a pair of pliers, and then feed it some solder. And you be careful to get this too hot and you'll melt the other side off, and then you'll have a fun time trying to get both sides to stick. So just keep in mind how much heat you're putting into that. So I also made like an XT60 power strip, and that's made the exact same way, just in a nice little 3D printed case. I use these things all the time. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do all these without being in your way, but I'll do my best. I don't have a ton of room to work with this. So that one was being a little tricky, but we got it. You can see how it's hot enough where it wants to pull both ends. I'm just gonna make sure they're both on there. Alright, so now we'll be able to just solder a piece of 10 gauge to that later on, and connect them both all at once. Oh, I forgot to glue these. I just used some basic super glue, and this is a PETG print. Once you put this on there, I've never had one come back out. They're pretty much there forever. Because all the grounds need to go together, so we could run it right down to our front there. This is just a piece of 14 gauge Romex. Actually, I might even leave that coating on there. Just need to strip a little bit more off of it. You know, just bare, and it is insulated technically, it's still got that coating on there. So, alright, I give up on that. It's just, I like that, but I need it to be more that way, and then we kind of run into that. Yeah, we're just going to end up hitting that plug. Alright, that's fine. Whatever. We'll just use regular wire. It's worth a thought anyway. So this is what they gave me with it. This does have the built-in glass fuses, but I don't think I'm going to use those. I'll probably put a fuse later down in the line, but technically you don't even really need to, because the BMS does have short circuit protection, so you really don't even need one. I generally solder these on, but these are actually some decent wires, so we'll go ahead and use theirs. Like that. My thought was we could use this as a bus bar, and we could basically run everything off here, and then we only have one wire going to our battery, which would be nice. So let's go ahead and snip off some extra here. I need to do a test with the switch to see which way it lights up here. So ground, these are going to be the switch leads. So one of these ways should turn it on. Let's go ahead and just use our new pack real quick. We're going to be switching positive, so we're going to stick the negative down in here. And we'll stick this down in there. And if that's the right side. Yep, see when I push the button it turns on now? Okay, so those two wires need to live together. And I'm not going to switch to lighter port, just the USB. Alright, we're back. I had to swap out a GoPro battery. Pretty happy with that. So technically, we could power this up and test it real quick. Plug into our battery we just built. There we go. Oh, still hot. You can see the light. Can you see the light? Yeah, you can see it come on and off. There we go. So it's working. So all in all, I think that panel turned out pretty nice. And again, you could have made these wires super short if you wanted to. I just like to have some extra in case you ever have to take this apart. Maybe, you know, one of these things breaks out or whatever. You just cut the cable ties and you have some wire to work with. You're not like yanking on tiny little wires. So I think that'll work out nicely. Maybe I should have left that red a little longer, but that'll be okay. Yeah. So there we go. So now, we'll just need to go out into the garage and cut the hole out, and then we can stick it in there. Because later on, when I get the mount, we'll get that in there. But for the most part, we can see somewhat of an action today. So let me go cut a hole in the box. I'm not going to show you guys that. It's not all that exciting. I'm just literally going to take a jigsaw and cut out this bottom hole, and then we'll stick it in there. So I'll be right back.